everyone, welcome to the next session of Answers tutorial. I'll solve problem number 6 using static structural. Solve for complete analysis. This is a tapered bar given in the question. One side of the bar is fixed and the other end is subjected to a load of 500 Newton. One end of the bar has area A0 whose value is 80 mm square and the other end has area AL whose value is 20 mm square. The length of the tapered bar capital L is given as 60 mm. The material of tapered bar is given as 210 gigapascal. This is the value of Young's modulus. From this value of Young's modulus, I realize that the material is steel. So now let's start solving. Now if you see, the area is directly given as 80. I have to calculate either its length and breadth if I have to draw a rectangle as the cross section, or I have to find the diameter if I have to draw a circle. I am going to use circle as the cross section. Now area is given as 80. The formula for calculating cross section area is pi by 4 d square. So for calculating the diameter, I'll rearrange the formula and I get the value as 10.0925 mm. For the other end, where the area is AL, the value is 20. Again, using the same formula, I'll get the diameter at this section as 5.0462 mm. Now if you look carefully at the diagram, this is a 2D diagram which is a projection of a 3D diagram. In 3D, this straight line will be a circle, or I can say that the circle in 3D is a line or a straight line in 2D. Now this line is going to indicate the diameter of the circle whose value is 10.0925, and the other end will have diameter 5.0462 mm. Now I am going to use a very simple option which is called as revolve. For using revolve, I need to draw half of the figure which is shown in the diagram, which means if I assume that there is a center line passing through the axis of loading, this below portion is what I need to draw. If this straight line is diameter, so half of it will be radius at both the ends. So radius at this end is going to be 5.0462 and the radius at this end is going to be 2.523 mm, and the length obviously is 60 mm. So let's start using ANSYS. I'll go to ANSYS workbench. I'll use static structural. Double click on it. I'll rename it as example 6. Right click on geometry, new design modeler geometry. I'll choose the unit as millimeter, XY plane, look at. I'll go to sketching. I'll use the option of polyline. I'll draw half of the tapered bar. Right click, close end. So this is half of the tapered bar. I'll give dimensions. Length is 60. I'll first mark V3 2.523 and V2 is 5.04625. I'll click on look at. I'll click on revolve. This is the geometry which has got highlighted. Apply. Axis, this one. Click on generate. You can see here, this is the tapered bar which I have drawn. So this is my geometry. Now I'll go to model and double click. This is my screen for model. You can see the geometry. I'll just align it such that its direction is along the positive x-axis. I'll go to mesh, sizing. I'll use a different option today. Instead of adaptive type of size function, I'm going to use proximity and curvature. Coarse, I'll change it to fine. Now proximity and curvature is generally used when you have some circular area which is a hole, and that area leads to notch sensitivity according to machine design. So in those areas we prefer to have a very dense meshing so that the results are more precise. So for that reason you use this option. I will first use proximity and curvature to show you the difference between adaptive method and proximity and curvature method. I will be using this option again in future. You can see over here, this is proximity and curvature that I have used. I'll just run adaptive and I'll show you. Update. So this is how adaptive mesh is going to look like. I don't want to choose adaptive. I'll take proximity and curvature. Update. Now see the difference between the two meshes. According to the shape of the body, say this was a circular shape, so the meshing has also aligned itself accordingly and it has become circular. So you're going to get better results by using this option. Now I'll go to static structural. One face, insert, fixed, and on the other end there's a force. I'll change vector to component. Along x direction there is a load of 500 Newton. Now there is one more thing missing, that is of material. I'll go to solid. I'll first check the material of structural steel. I'll click new material, or you can also click on edit structural steel. Now if you observe structural steel, the Young's modulus value is 2 into 10 raised to 11. The value given to me is 210 gigapascal, which means it is 2.1 into 10 raised to 11, because 1 gigapascal is 10 raised to 9 pascals. So either you can go with this material or you can create a new material. I'll show you how to create. I have already made videos on this, but still if you want to see, you can just write steel here. Go to linear elastic, isotropic elasticity. This value is 2.1 E11. So this is how the value is supposed to be fed. Now Poisson's ratio is something which is compulsory, so I'll just write it as 0.3. You can assume any other value of Poisson's ratio as well. Next I'll go to project. Now here, rather than using update project, I can do refresh project, because I don't want to use the material of structural steel which was the default material of ANSYS. I have created my material steel and I'm going to use it, so I am directly clicking on refresh project. If you want to use structural steel also, do not click on refresh project, click on update project. I have discussed this in the previous videos, kindly go through them. Now I'll double click on model again. I'll go to solid. Rather than structural steel, I'm going to choose steel over here. Now I'll go to solution, right click, insert, deformation, directional. The direction is x axis here. Right click, insert, stress, equivalent. Right click, insert, strain, equivalent. I'll go to solution, solve. I'll go to directional deformation first. I'll click on max, min and probe. You can see this is a minimum deformation because this was fixed. The other end was subjected to load, so obviously the deformation will be maximum here. And I have clicked on probe, so I can get the value at any other point I want. Next I'll click on equivalent stress. Now this is very strange result. You will observe that at the end where there is fixed, you are seeing minimum stress, and at the end where the load was applied, you are seeing maximum stress, which is quite opposite of the results that we have seen in the previous numerical. But you have to understand that this bar is not a straight bar, it is a tapered bar, and if you use FEA method to solve this kind of problem, you will observe that in that case we first divide the tapered bar into a step bar and then we solve the numerical, because solving tapered bar directly is not possible. So according to that, when you use the formula for calculating stress over here, the formula for stress is 16T upon pi d cube for tau, which is the shear stress. Diameter lies in the denominator of the formula, so if the diameter value will reduce, the shear stress value is going to increase. That is why at the end where the diameter is less, you will see more value of shear stress. So this is the justification of this color range which you see. Next is elastic strain. For calculating strain, the formula is stress upon Young's modulus. So wherever the value of stress will be more, obviously at that end the strain will also be more, and also the deformation at this end is more. So this is the justification of these values of elastic strain. If you want to calculate the strain at any other point, you can just click by highlighting this option of probe. So this is how the numerical has to be solved. I hope you have understood this numerical. If you have any doubt regarding the problem, do let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell icon for latest updates of the videos. See you in the next session with another numerical of static structural. Thank you.